Hey guys, it's Maddie. Welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be making a video about the most traumatic pet sitting experience I've ever had, which happened in April of 2018. If you guys don't know, my main job is a pet sitter. I am basically always on call for my clients, so I'm never really fully off of work because I always get requests to come over and help people when they're going out to dinner or if they have emergencies, and I've been doing that for 2.5 years now. So, back when I lived in Ohio is when this experience happened, and this is actually what made me stop doing overnights at other people's houses. I used to do like a house sitting service where I would watch people's animals and also stay over at their house and, basically just watch their house while they're away. Some people like this more because then their house is also being watched and they have more confidence that nobody's going to like break into their house while they're away and stuff because someone is still home. So, this experience was the final straw of what made me stop house sitting, except for, the regulars that I had had before this experience. I got a very interesting request in, I believe, the end of March for 2 mini pigs, and they lived indoors. And it was pretty far away from me, but I wanted to take the job because mini pigs, I was like, I want the experience of, pet sitting mini pigs, because how many people can say that they've done that? So they lived probably about 35 to 40 minutes away from my house, which is way farther than I normally take clients, because when you think about it, I have to be popping back in and out all day because I have other daily clients that I have to take care of. So I'd be driving like 40 minutes there, 40 minutes back, like a ton each day. It wasted a lot of time and gas. So basically the only reason I would take someone that far away is because, I wanted the experience of watching mini pigs. So I went over for a meet and greet, which is what I do before I take any job. And I met the pigs and they seemed really nice. They let me pet them. They were really sweet. She showed me, all the normal stuff, where to let them out in the backyard, how to feed them, blah, blah, blah. And a lot of the clients that I pet sit for have nicer homes because they can afford to have someone come in and check on their pets all the time. But this house was like exceptionally nice. It was a really old, nice, restored mansion basically along a historic strip in a town that I said was like 40 minutes away from me. So I was really excited because the house was like really gorgeous and they had like taken really good care of it, and it was just really nice, and I love architecture, so it was cool to see all the old stuff that was like restored inside of it. So I was really excited to take the job. Okay, and then here's where it gets crazy. So the first day I go over to the house, I noticed they left me like a list of things to do, which a lot of my clients do, but on the counter there was a crucifix, like not hanging on the wall or anything, just like sitting on the counter, which I was like, okay, they're religious. Kind of weird that it's not hanging anywhere and just like sitting on a counter, which is like otherwise completely and totally empty. Like there's nothing on any of the counters except for like fruit and then this like crucifix. And I'm like, weird, but I'm not gonna let it like faze me really. Also, I should say at this time I'm like a huge skeptic. If something were to literally like walk up to me and be like, hello, I'm a ghost, I'd be like, no, you're not. So I obviously thought absolutely nothing of it. And then I realized that the pigs were not the friendliest, especially the larger one. The pictures are already public and out online places because that's just what the business does. When you post pictures, other people can see them. So I will post pictures and videos that I took and uploaded. The larger one was older and he was probably like about 100 pounds, and the smaller one, obviously younger and about 75 pounds. And the larger one ended up being like really nasty towards me. And they're both like, for mini pigs, I mean, they're like muscular and like stocky, they're not like huge looking, but they weigh a lot, and they also have like big tusks that need to be like cut off, I guess. I don't know how often, but their tusks were like not all the way down. They had like some tusk. So I was fine for about the first like hour probably, and then the larger of the pigs started like storming me. He would run after me and like grab onto my leg, and it would like hurt badly. He would like scream. Like the only thing I could think of comparing it to is if you've seen like the PETA documentaries of like slaughterhouses, the pigs screaming. It's like a very, very haunting sound that is extremely shrill and very loud. And he would like scream and run at me and just like latch onto me, and it hurt. And of course I was terrified. I've never been bit by a pig before. It was a completely new experience for me to be bit by a pig. And up until this point, I actually hadn't been bit by any animals that I had been pet sitting. So I was like, I have no idea what to do. I just got bit by this animal. I'm bleeding. Like, I don't know what to do. So what I ended up doing was walking around with a pillow behind my legs anytime I was walking anywhere, until he started running after me and grabbing the pillow and thrashing it out of my hands like a dog, like shaking a toy, and still coming after me. It was like very scary. So I messaged the owner and I said, hey, what can I do? And she said, oh, like give him Cheerios and it'll calm him down. So there's like a jar of Cheerios in the kitchen. I went and I was giving him Cheerios, which I feel like is only reinforcing the behavior of biting. It's like, if you bite me or if you start storming me, I'm just gonna give you Cheerios to make you stop. So I was trying to like not do that very much because I didn't want him to get the idea in his head that if he starts biting me that he gets rewarded for it. I don't know. Pigs are extremely intelligent, just like dogs are, in the way that a dog would catch on if you're giving them a treat to make them quiet every time they're barking. A pig would probably catch on that if you're rewarding them every single time they're biting you, they'll probably keep biting you to get the reward, if that makes sense at all. Not only was the pig aggressive towards me, he was also extremely aggressive towards the other pig. So he would chase the other pig across the house, barrel into him, and start biting him, and both of the pigs would be like screaming at each other as the one pig was biting the other pig. Or he would like corner the other pig in their crate and like scream at him and bite him, and the other one would be like thrashing and screaming. It was terrible, and I'm sure the neighbors could hear it and were probably like, what in the world is going on? Because there's like screaming going on inside the house. It literally sounds like pigs being slaughtered, and I was not touching them at all. So beyond the biting thing, we get to the first night in the house. I go upstairs. They had already showed me around and showed me what room they wanted me to sleep in, and they actually gave me a choice between the room on the very top level, which was the third level of the house, or a room on the second level. For some reason, like at the meet and greet, again, like total skeptic, but I was walking into the hallway up to the third floor and I felt like a very like weird feeling almost. It was like the hair on the back of my neck stood up, like sudden chill, like bad vibes. And I was like, ooh, I don't like this room. So I obviously did not take that room, closed the door to the hallway to go upstairs, and slept on the second floor. The pigs are potty trained to go outside, so I have to let them out before bed, take them into their room. They have their own room, and close the doors so they go to bed. There was a baby monitor so I could hear them, make sure they were still doing good downstairs while I was upstairs, and this would also help me in the morning because they go out around like 5:30 to 6, and she said the younger one makes accidents sometimes, so you can hear when they wake up and take them out so they don't have accidents downstairs because there's really no way to hear from across a really big house. It was pretty funny because the pigs could be heard on the baby monitor literally snoring. I'll put a video in. This was at 12 a.m. and you could hear them snoring, like they were obviously very asleep, and everything seemed completely fine. I was a night owl, so it was like 12 a.m. I was like still awake. There was probably like 3 or 4 hours before I'd actually go to sleep. And then at like around 2 a.m., stuff started getting like really strange. I started hearing weird sounds on the baby monitor. I could still hear the pigs snoring. They were still like perfectly sound asleep, but I started hearing like chairs scooting and weird thuds, like not rhythmic thuds. It didn't sound like, you know, old houses have like the house warming sound when like the heat kicks on and stuff because the pipes are like expanding. It was like very weird, something's downstairs type vibes, and I was like, oh god, I forgot to lock the door. I can't believe I forgot to lock the door. Holy cow, I don't know what to do. So I called my dad and I was like, Dad, I think I forgot to lock the door downstairs. He's like, just stay in the room, like lock the door, don't go downstairs. And he's obviously 40 minutes away. So the sounds like keep going on, like chairs thudding. I think that there's like people stealing stuff downstairs. I'm like, holy cow, I'm gonna get in so much trouble. I didn't lock these people's house. It's like a historic mansion. The pigs are still sleeping. I have no idea how there's people downstairs. And then I get to basically like the early morning hours around 5 a.m. The sounds kind of stop around 4:30 to 5 a.m., I think. And I go downstairs to wake the pigs up and let them outside, and everything is perfectly fine and the doors were locked. So I was like, okay, very strange. Not going to think about that very much. Not really sure what it was, but maybe it was just like my imagination or something. So I let the pigs outside, come back inside, eat breakfast, blah, blah, blah. The pig starts biting me again. Just a whole mess. So the next night I come over again for the final time, getting ready to go to bed. Put the pigs to the room, hear the snoring, blah, blah, blah. Again, around like 1 a.m., I'm hearing these really, really strange sounds again, like chair scooching, thudding. I swear I heard footsteps on the third level coming down the hallway. I literally was like, oh my god, this house is haunted. I have never experienced something like this before. It was the craziest thing in my life. So I was like, I'm in deep shit right now. I have no idea what to do. Like, there is demons in this house. I don't know what to do. So I locked the door. I was so terrified. I called my friend Jordan. I was like, Jordan, I don't know what to do. I was crying. There was like sounds going on. I could hear the pigs sleeping. The pigs are fine. The pigs are sound asleep, but there's things happening in the house. It was so weird. So I actually took video of the sounds on my old phone, and I just went through a ton of old pictures and videos on my phone from the dates, and I can't find the videos anymore, so I don't know what happened to them. I'm thinking I probably originally sent them in a group chat on Twitter with my friends to like tell them, and my friends were like, oh my god, but I don't think I saved them to my phone. I think I just recorded them on like Twitter or something. I don't know, but I hate it. I looked through so many pictures trying to find it because it was very obvious that it was like a strange, irregular sound. Around 2:30 a.m. I started getting obviously like very scared because now I was like, I'm experiencing something paranormal. I need to get out of here. And so I get on the phone with my mom, who I'm pretty sure is like out of the country at this point, and I'm talking to her and I'm sobbing. I'm like, I need to get out of this house. I don't know what to do. I can't leave these pigs alone because, you know, obviously I'm being paid to stay there. So I go out to my car and I sit in my car until like 5 a.m. with the baby monitor, just listening to the pigs snoring so I know when, you know, to go back inside and get up. So I was out there for probably like 2 hours, sitting in the car, just crying, freaking out, shaking, very scared. I went back inside, I let the pigs out. This time, the pig starts chasing me. I run up the stairs and I'm like, oh my god, I'm stuck. Because the pigs are just like, every time I start trying to come down the stairs, the older mean pig starts coming around the corner and like cornering me basically. And I'm like, I don't want to get bit again. I'm really freaked out by this. It hurts really bad because their tusks aren't like smooth, obviously. They're like jagged and it hurts when it digs into your skin. I had bruises on the back of my leg from where he had bit me before. So I called my dad and I had him bring over the X pen that I had for Ellie, which is like an exercise pen. But it was when she was a puppy, so it's like big and plastic. And I had him bring it over and I built like a barrier around myself that I started carrying around, and anytime he'd come like close to me, I'd like put the barrier out so he couldn't, you know, bite me. So I had to start walking around the house with a barrier, which is ridiculous. Keep in mind, like, I'm just doing this to experience having a fun time with mini pigs. Little do I know, this is like the worst experience I would ever have pet sitting so far, knock on wood, oh my god. So yeah, that's basically everything. The pigs were biting me. This house was haunted. I had such a bad feeling, and every night I would like go up to the room, and luckily I was only there for I think 3 nights. So I would go up to the room and I was like terrified, listening to the sounds, talking on the phone with my friends. I was like making funny videos with like Snapchat memories just to try to like get my mind off of what was going on like outside of the room because it was like really scary. I ended up leaving like all the lights in the downstairs level on to see if that would help. You know, nothing happened or something, but stuff still happened. So it was very scary. And then I was like, oh my god, the crucifix on the counter. So I was like, maybe that's why they have the crucifix on the counter. I didn't bring up anything to the people because I was afraid they'd think I was like a total nut job. So after that experience, I did not take another new client for house sitting ever after that. It will be 2 years in April since I've taken a new client for house sitting. And I have no plans on going back to it because I never want to experience something bad like that ever again. It's terrifying and not worth any amount of money in the world for me to experience the emotional trauma that I experienced. I hope you guys liked the video. If you're the owner of the pigs, sorry. She actually contacted me and asked me to watch the pigs again, but it was the weekend I was moving to Michigan, so I was like, sorry, I can't. And also I should mention, I'm not trying to like, you know, deter anyone from getting pigs. Just do know that they are extremely smart animals. They need to be socialized at an early age, just like dogs do, because they need the early socialization around other people. They need to be trained just like dogs do. And if you don't train them and socialize them, they turn out aggressive just like dogs will. So it's still important for you to know what you're getting yourself into before you get a mini pig. I will say that the mini pigs did kind of ruin my reputation of mini pigs, and I am a little bit scared and wary of them now. And I say mini pig as like a blanket term. I know there's not technically like teacup pigs or anything, but the one type, I can actually look on my phone. I think the one type was a Juliana pig, and he was like 100 pounds, full grown, like 5 or 6 years old or something like that. The other one was like, he's like a little black colored pig. And he was smaller than the Juliana pig. So I don't know. That's all I'm saying. If you're a pet sitter, let me know your worst experiences down below because it obviously was like extremely traumatic and a terrible time for me. Thanks for watching, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye!